Hello guys, let's start by liking the video, then subscribe to my channel for you to know about new videos, and make comments, ask questions, and I'll try to record in English more often. It's because I've got more people who watch my videos in Portuguese. Please help me by letting your friends know about the channel. Remember that I've shown you how to repot an orchid and how to take care of it. Now I'm going to show you when to prune. This one, 3 months after I repotted it, what happened is that, but I've done the video in Portuguese, is that I put it in the proper place with the proper sunlight. I watered it as often as needed, and so on. The environment was good. It was airy and so on. The roots started growing pretty fast, and I changed all of the substract, as we say in Portuguese, but in soil in English. And 3 months after that was done, look, I'll soon have flowers again. I don't need to trim it or prune it, sorry, because the leaves are firm, very firm. Can you see it? They're thick. It's hard to bend. But this one, look, you can bend it. They are a bit dehydrated. So in this case, because it's a small one, the small version is usually more delicate and might do this after you repot. The thing here is that I repot when they arrive, because otherwise they might die. Because you've seen the other video, watch it if you didn't. Because the soil, it maintains humidity, and then it has little pieces which decompose and so on. It's not healthy for them. And now I don't know exactly how they are or how much of it there is. So I end up by changing all of the soil. What happens is, this might happen, the roots, they can dry out, but that doesn't mean they're dead. These aren't dead. It's just the outside of the roots are very thin, and inside of this part here, which protects the roots. And what happened here is probably the roots did get hurt somehow, even though I'm very careful. This one didn't. So new roots grew from the old roots, and new roots grew from here. And what happened is that it became really strong fast. But the smaller ones, this happens very easily. But I had already pruned the stems. I didn't prune this one when I repotted, and again, the small version of this species is delicate comparing to the bigger one. So this is the moment to prune. I took a bit long to do this, but anyways, you can see that the flowers are finishing anyways. So I'm gonna cut it for me not to risk having another stem growing from this stem, because it can happen a lot with this species. I'll cut down here. I will need one of these to hold the plant in place for it not to keep moving, because if it keeps moving, the roots won't be stable, they will get hurt, and the new ones will never grow. So this one I pruned. It's gonna rain. Can you hear the thunder? I can't see lightnings yet, but I can hear the thunder. I'm going to tie this one up, and the other one I can prune even lower down. Very, very low. I've noticed that it's not a rule that your plant will flower faster if you leave a stem when it's healthy for another stem to grow from the stem. It depends. This one, for example, in 3 months, and I had pruned it, had more flowers coming. And I had one side still longer. I pruned it after on another one, and nothing grew from it. A new one grew. So it's not a rule, okay? But if it's healthy, you don't need to prune it. You might get new flowers from the old stem. I rather prune because then I can get new roots, new leaves, because the plant will focus on that and not on new flowers. But it depends on what you expect. And I don't like a bunch of stems sticking out. So you may leave the stems and you might get new flowers from it, or even a little plant, a new plant, new leaves might grow, but it depends on the plant. This species can do it, and if you want to grow new roots, leave the place a bit more humid. It doesn't mean that you will water it too much. You water it when the roots are grayish. The new ones will always be a bit green, so try testing. Put a little bit of water for you to see the difference in colors, and put a stick until the bottom to see if it's dry. Then you can water. You will get used to the plant's rhythm, which might change according to how humid the environment is, how dry the environment is, how cold it is, how warm it is, how much direct sunlight it gets. Sunlight, please, only a little bit, like 2 hours early in the morning, 3 hours early in the morning, and you will get flowers. The place needs a lot of light as well, not dark places, but direct sunlight helps a lot with the flowering, and more humidity helps with new roots and leaves. But again, humidity, you can spray a little or just put a little bit of water on a few roots without watering everything in between the days in which you water, until water comes out through the bottom. Do it when it's hot. It's good when you water plants at the end of the day, if you want in the beginning of the day, but give it some time to absorb the water better. But when it's cold, water in the morning, because it needs to dry out fast, and plants need it for it not to freeze. But anyways, plants do need balanced humidity and sunlight, proper pots, proper substrate, and then you'll have a healthy plant for years. I hope I didn't forget anything. Please ask me questions if you've got any doubts, and I hope to see you soon. Please, guys, subscribe. Whenever you cut another plant, first you clean with alcohol at least 70%. With a soft paper, you decide with what. Then for it to have new roots, I will water it. I've been doing it already. 2 days in a week, then 1 day the next week, then once a month. Vitamin B for ball. This one is for birds. It's liquid. I put 10 drops per liter, or 1 milliliter per liter. And you can get probably something like that in a drugstore. If you only find it as a pill, you break it in 2 or 4 pieces, then you put it in a bigger spoon, then with a smaller spoon you squeeze it until it becomes powder, and then you put it in 1 liter of water. This is a fertilizer which I use only for balanced nutrition, and then this one is for flowering, and I only use this one once a month. If I water almost every day, every 15 days. Guys, focus on things for orchids. They usually like stuff for orchids better. apart from the substrate or the soil, which they like the soil which I actually provide and I can't find in shops. Please watch the movie or the little repotting story I talk to you about, for you to know how to use this soil which I prepared. It's charcoal and expanded clay. Sorry for anything that I might have said wrongly, or if it was confusing. Just subscribe and ask me questions if needed. Bye.